I was shocked when my unfaithful wife walked in with my best friend. She smiled and said, "Honey, you're the perfect husband and he's the perfect lover. Together we make the ideal family. Let's live happily as one." I looked at both of them and replied coldly, "You're nothing but trash to me now." That was the exact moment my quiet and calculated revenge began. Chapter 1. The proposal I never saw coming. What would you do if your wife walked in holding hands with your best friend and asked you to become the third wheel in your own marriage? Sounds like a joke, but it wasn't. That's how I discovered that the two people I trusted the most were betraying me behind my back. And now, they expected me to smile and support their twisted little love triangle. They weren't prepared for my anger. They didn't even expect me to resist. They thought I'd simply accept it, because I was always the good guy. Someone who'd just nod along and accept betrayal like a loyal dog. But they forgot one thing. Good men don't stay good forever, especially not when you spit on their loyalty. As they sat across from me, happily explaining their disturbing idea of a new family, I didn't yell. I didn't cry. I just said calmly, "You're nothing but trash to me now." From that moment forward, I stopped being their comfort zone and became their reckoning. Chapter 2. The Mask and the Mirror. After they left that night, still unsure whether I had actually snapped or just needed time, I sat in complete silence. No music, no TV. Only the sound of the ceiling fan spinning in what used to be my peaceful home. I replayed every laugh Ethan and I ever shared. Every moment Claire kissed me like I was the only man she ever loved. Now they expected me to cheer them on while they turned my life into some twisted reality show. But I didn't lose control. I stayed calm and I made a plan. I knew if I exploded, I'd seem bitter, weak, and jealous. But if I stayed quiet long enough, they wouldn't even notice the fuse burning beneath their feet. Step 1. Collect evidence. By morning I had a clear plan. I started with access. I pulled every text message linked to our shared phone account. I installed silent screen recording software on Claire's computer while she worked from home. I took photos of Ethan's car parked outside our house during his lunch breaks. I built a folder and labeled it, "Claire and Ethan Proof." Inside it, I saved time-stamped receipts of betrayal, not just for myself, but for every mutual friend they would soon try to turn against me. Step 2. Show them the mirror. 3 weeks passed. They thought I was starting to accept everything. Claire even kissed me on the cheek one morning and said, "You're handling this better than I expected." Ethan texted me, "You're a bigger man than I'll ever be, bro, respect." I didn't reply because I wasn't just handling it. I was tightening the rope. What they didn't know was that I'd already spoken to a lawyer, moved all my savings into a personal account, scheduled a meeting with Claire's boss, a serious woman I'd met twice and knew wouldn't tolerate unethical behavior. Chapter 3. The Trap Springs. They say revenge is a dish best served cold. But I didn't just serve it cold. I garnished it, chilled the wine, and invited karma to join the table. Claire and Ethan had no idea they were about to taste their own destruction. The corporate betrayal. Claire worked at a respected real estate firm, backed by corporate investors with strict ethics policies and zero tolerance for misconduct. So when I accidentally CC'd her regional director on an email, one that included screenshots of her booking hotel rooms during work hours, calendar entries with code names like Zoom W Italy, and Ethan Spa Day, 2 photos of Ethan using her company laptop shirtless at our dining table. The response came quickly. Due to violation of company policies and misuse of company resources, Claire's contract was immediately suspended pending investigation. She came home shaking, not from guilt but from anger. Why would they do this? It was just personal stuff. I looked up from my book and replied, "Maybe they didn't think your boyfriend counted as a business investment." Ethan's fall was even faster. Turns out, Ethan's bank job wasn't as secure as he claimed. I had quietly sent an anonymous complaint to their HR department, along with a video of him drinking beer in my backyard during work hours and badmouthing clients. He was fired. No warning. No severance. You broke confidentiality, he yelled into my voicemail. Who reported me? I didn't answer. I just watched him fall, quietly from the sidelines. The final trigger, mutual friends. That weekend I hosted a cookout with our old college group. Most of them still thought Claire and I were trying to work things out. So, before they could hear her version of the story, I showed them the proof. Text messages, photos, and her unbelievable request for a 3-person relationship. Ethan had sent a smug little text. He'll go along with it. He's too passive. He didn't realize I didn't need to exaggerate anything. The truth was already powerful enough. By Monday, Ethan's phone had gone silent. And Claire. She texted me at 1:04 a.m. What are you doing to us? I didn't reply, because I wasn't doing anything to them. I was simply holding up a mirror. By the time Claire finally understood what was happening, it was too late. She was already bleeding from 100 tiny cuts. Each one delivered by the truth she had tried so hard to hide. Her career suspended. Her social circle falling apart. Her so-called perfect lover, jobless and blaming her for everything. Now it was time for what she never expected. The divorce papers. I left them on the kitchen counter inside a clean manila envelope. Inside was a notarized petition citing irreconcilable differences. A full breakdown of all assets, already legally separated thanks to quiet transfers I had arranged months ago. A non-disparagement clause. If broken, it would cost her more than she could earn in 5 years. I knew she would read every word, probably more than once. And I knew she would notice the date at the bottom. The day she first slept with Ethan. Her reaction. She didn't scream. She didn't cry. She just stood in the doorway wearing the same fake confidence she used to show her clients. You planned this, she said. I looked her in the eye. You made the first move. I just made the last one. She tried to fix things, offering to talk to keep it private, even to start over. But the begging came too late. You don't get to burn the house down and then ask to redecorate the ashes. Ethan made one attempt too. He called me just once. We messed up, man. I didn't think it would go this far. I paused before hanging up. It didn't go anywhere, Ethan. I just stopped holding the leash. Clean exit. By the end of that week, I had moved out of the city. I bought a small place near a peaceful lake and started a consulting business, something I had always postponed to support Claire's goals. Now I woke up to the sound of birds, not lies. To calmness, not suspicion. And in that calm, I found something even better than revenge. Chapter 5. The Scar That Spoke. People believe revenge ends when the curtain falls. But real closure comes with what remains after. It's the silence that no longer feels heavy. The scar you mentally trace when someone says, "You seem different now." Life after the fire. 9 months have passed. I wake up before the alarm. I eat more slowly. I read more. Sometimes I think of Claire, not with anger, but with the same dull recognition you give to a scar on your skin. You don't flinch anymore. You just remember who left the mark. Ethan disappeared from every group chat. Most of our mutual friends blocked him. One person told me he moved back in with his older brother. Another said he started drinking again. I never check because honestly, I don't care anymore. And that's not indifference. That's victory. What the scar taught me. Claire once called me safe, said I was too calm, too boring. But calm doesn't mean weak. And safe men. We don't explode. We end things politely, legally, and completely. That's the difference between a naive man and a wise one. A naive man trusts blindly. A wise man keeps receipts. Final reflection. If you're reading this because you've been betrayed by a partner, a friend, or both, listen closely. Don't burn the house. Build a better one. And make sure they're never invited inside. Because revenge, it's not about hurting them. It's about making sure the version of you they tried to destroy comes back stronger, colder, untouchable. Have you ever been betrayed by the people you trusted most? Then let your silence speak for you. Let them drown in your peace. Like this story if you've ever risen from the ashes. Comment if you've seen betrayal become your strength. Subscribe to Lauren's story, where revenge isn't loud. It's lethal. 'Cause here, we don't just tell stories. We bury lies and resurrect truth.